We chismes too much. Just kidding. But I'll say good morning, even though it's probably not morning for other people who want to listen. But good morning, Carissa.
Good morning, Kristine. How are you?
I'm doing well. And good morning to everyone in the listening world. We are I picked the name Vale Tudo Moms. We're going to see how it rolls.
I like it.
I like it. I don't know if anyone else knows what it means, but so Vale Tudo means anything goes, no holds bar. I think it really means more so in like a combat fighting situation and not podcasting. But we are going to talk about everything and anything we want here. And mostly going to be surrounded around jujitsu, MMA stuff about our kids. But I mean, we talk a lot, so there might be
Anything goes.
yeah, exactly. Thanks. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Kristine, and I have 3 kids, and I have 2 little ones here with me in the beautiful state of North Carolina. And my kids do jujitsu, and my son's been doing MMA for a little while. Um, and then my daughter, so my oldest one, she's 18. When she was about 9, she did Muay Thai fighting for a little bit. I'd say about good like 2, 3 months. And she trained with Goldberg, the wrestler. Do you remember him
Ooh,
from the 90s?
I do.
Yeah, he
That's
was
so
on
cool.
yeah, the WCW, I think. Well, he would like pop in and then he had like a coach or whatever. Anyways, so all my kids have
Awesome.
done a little bit of something, something, something. And both my kids, the little ones, that do jujitsu, they are gray belts. They've been doing jujitsu for about 2 years. Kenny maybe a little bit longer. He is my son. He's the one who kind of got put into it because the schedule lined up better than karate. Initially, I had him in taekwondo, and then I switched to a different school, and we had them do the karate class. But I don't know if I didn't look at the schedule or the time. I ended up being that my work schedule just conflicted with karate, so I put him in jujitsu because it was half an hour later, and I could get to that on time. And that's how we ended up with doing jujitsu. Isn't that crazy?
So it's just in the stars.
It is kind of. Yeah, I think
That's
so.
awesome. It's like the higher power said, your
That's right.
kids need to do jiu-jitsu.
I'm here for it. I believe it.
I like it.
Thanks. Yeah. Sit there because she was so little when Kenny started. And she would sit there and she would draw with me. And sometimes if I didn't want to talk to like other parents, which is most of the time, I would sit in the parking lot with the air conditioner on and me and Dolly would just sit in the car. I would like sleep and Dolly would just color.
Oh, is that how
Yeah.
she like got into it? She ended up like liking
I
it.
think one day she's, I'll try it. Cause for the longest, maybe like 3 or 4 months, she was like, no, thank you, or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. She's so little. But then one day she tried it and she liked it and she just started going. And then Gino, her coach now at the other gym, when we were all there, um, he said, why doesn't she try the other class? I'm like, I don't know. She just started like a month ago. He's like, put her in the other class. We'll see how she does. It's like, okay. And she's been with him since forever, even after he opened up his new place. So that's that. And then family information. I'm totally reading off notes, so if it sounds super choppy, I'm sorry.
I like
But
it.
so it's me, my husband, Mike, and then we have 3 kids. Our oldest is in California. She just graduated high school. And then we have the 2 little ones with us, Kenny and Dahlia. And then we have our 2 dogs. And that's pretty much my little household. I do want to introduce my co-host, and that is Carissa. So hi,
Hi.
Carissa. She's in
Hello,
the pink.
hello.
She's in the pink wig, and I love her idea. She said, "Let's do costumes," and I'm thinking, what kind of costume should I wear?
Well, it's hard too because it's like you only see
Yeah,
like
so I was like, let's do wigs.
I
So the
like it.
whole like rave festival look is because of Carissa's beautiful mind.
I'm just showing the world that we're just like millennials, right? It just seems like our generation.
It's something fun to do. And this whole thing is supposed to be just like fun, like let's talk and let's put on a wig. And so now I'm about to just go wig shopping and buy more.
I am down. I think the next one will probably be purple, but I'm
Me
like,
too. Let's do it. Okay, we'll
okay.
match. All right. So welcome, Carissa.
Thank you, thank you. I'm Carissa. I have two kiddos. My oldest is a girl. She's 8, and she trains and competes jujitsu. It's actually how I met Kristine and her awesome family,
Yeah,
but we were actually competitors at first.
that's okay.
But now our kids are like honorary cousins
That's
because
right.
we're Filipino and that's just how that rolls.
That is how it rolls.
Uh, my daughter just got promoted to yellow belt.
I need to
And
find like an applause, like
oh,
a
we
little
should get the
applause sound.
clappers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, like little. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking of just like a little sound bit and just like pop it in
Oh,
there, but clappers sound
that's
fun
true.
too.
I'm just crazy. It's fine.
Yeah, that's cute. I like it.
But yeah, it was very unexpected that she got her yellow belt.
I
But
think it's badass. Can I say badass? And no holds bar, right? No. I
yeah,
think it's super badass. She is probably one of the only 8-year-old yellow belts that I know. And she's a little girl. Like, how cool is that? That's amazing. She's
yeah.
such a, what do you call it? Trailblazer. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's a trailblazer. So
But
good for her.
like the mom and me, I'm just kind of
Oh,
like,
yeah, for sure. I know how like
oh,
nervous you were.
my cub.
Yeah, my baby. Yeah.
Yes. But interestingly enough, she also does cheer and she does like the elite all-star stuff that also, I guess she just likes to get my heart racing because
Of course.
when they throw her up in the air, it's like when she's rolling and I just can't watch, but I watch because I should
Because you have to
and
watch.
need to. But yeah, so she's been competing cheer for, I guess she's going into her second season.
Oh, fun.
She's been doing jujitsu for a little under 3 years just because of the whole COVID situation.
Mm-hmm.
Family wise, it's me, my husband, my daughter, and my son, who is crazy. He is
I
2.
love him. He's so cute.
No, he's
He's
crazy.
he's a little he's not he's like a typical 2-year-old. He's just naughty and fun and cute and adorable.
But the worst part is that he knows he's cute, so he'll just smile at you and thinks he can get
While
away
he
with
does
it.
the naughty thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's typical of a 2-year-old, I think. So
Yeah.
I think it's adorable.
I know, to everybody else. I mean, I love him,
Yeah, of
but
course.
you know,
Of course.
sometimes I'm just like, let me just pull my hair out. Like, ah. But, other than that, yeah.
All right. So what do you do as your day job? I know you're in your office right now.
Yes. Um, so I do all around marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like social media marketing, I like
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, Facebook, all of those type of things. I do search engine optimizations,
Mm-hmm.
so things to basically get businesses and other people ranking on Google or how other people can like find their
Right,
business.
right.
Um, I also do like Google Ads. I do some consulting for just overall like marketing plans.
Mm-hmm.
Done it for like real estate people. I've done it for like a radio station and just like a
That's so
wide
cool.
variety of things. I got into when I first was in marketing, I think one of my original partners or clients was in healthcare.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's just like a little bit of everything here and there.
Marketing's so broad, so like it's
So
pretty cool.
since we're like military,
Mm,
it's just kind of like I've had to, kind of job hop a lot.
of course.
And
And
then
that's another
that,
reason why we connect because we are
yes,
former military as well. So it
yeah,
makes all the
shout out
sense. Yeah. Shout
to
out to the
all of,
US military.
yeah,
Let's go.
like this is
You
this
think
is
they'll
what
endorse
happened.
us? No, just kidding.
I don't know. They're a little crazy with their
Right, everything.
everything. Yeah, exactly. We'll just leave it at that. But Yeah, so I just kind of do all around marketing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so, we can talk about how we met as competitors back earlier this year.
Yeah. Oh my
So,
gosh, it's been like less than a year since I've known
right?
you.
And I
How
feel like
crazy
we
is
see
that?
each other all the time. And then when we don't see each other, like when you're gone, on vacation, I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, same. Or like when there's like no nearby
Oh
competitions and
yeah.
you just like wait.
Yeah. It's like,
It's like
can we just
this
go
is
to their
weird.
house? Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it's like, 2.5 hours away. It's
Right?
fine.
I know.
It's
Let's just go.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So, back in February, there was um a competition near us in it was Fuji, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And so, we and at the beginning, I could back up a little bit, but like, so history wise, our main gym or our main coach, left the school that we were learning from before, and he opened up his own gym. And I don't even think like his doors were open, but I don't even think his equipment was up yet. I don't know. I
Wow.
don't even know if I should say that, but whatever. So we would like practice on this freaking mat behind me. So
I
like
love it.
he had some mats, we had some mats, and our friend Erica, she had some mats. And so we just roll them out in the space that they have now, and then we just practice. And then so I was like, hey, well, there's a competition that we've never done. Can we do this? Like, yeah, let's do it. So we got the two kids and then his son Diego and Mike, I think, my husband, and then Erica. We all competed. Oh, and there was another child that was with us at the same time too. And so we all went to Fuji and competed. And so Carissa's daughter and our coach's son, they were the same
Mhm.
rank at the same time, or same rank and same weight. So they competed against each other. And she demolished him, like 20-second armbar, boom. And even though I'm over here like, oh no, Diego, like I was so worried for our coach's son. I'm sitting there like, you go, girl. That was amazing.
So on our end, you know, it was closer to us, so our
Oh yeah.
whole gym went. But crazy enough, like my husband, he was watching like all the fights in that bracket. And I
Oh
remember before they went on to roll,
yeah.
um, he whispered to me, he said, babe, I've been watching that little boy talking about Diego, and
Oh
he was like, he is a beast.
yeah.
Like, he is so crazy good. I am worried that Layla's gonna have a hard time. And I was like, okay, well, I mean,
We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
yeah, we'll see how
We'll
it goes.
just see
Like,
how it goes.
I don't know what he wants me to do. I think he's a little more disconnected from, I think, the BJJ community. So I'm like,
Oh, okay, yeah.
so it's like
Well, because you drive
sometimes,
Layla to practice and you watch and you do all those
mhm.
things, so that makes sense.
And
So
I'm the one who like, signs her up for the
right,
competitions and
right.
like reads the rules or
Of
whatever.
course, of course.
But I don't know, like sometimes at competitions when he's like, well, like, is she really gonna fight that kid? Like that kid's like so much heavier than her, or that kid is this
Aw.
and that. And I'm just like, okay, but like she's literally going on next. Like I'm
Yeah, so
not
I
like,
can't say no.
like what do you want me to do?
Well, I mean, technically you can, but I think it's kind of like it's weird, no? Like if you say
Yeah.
no, I don't know. I
And
don't even know what the if it's a faux pas or anything, like if you were to
I don't know.
withdraw. Well, I guess I
Well,
mean
I
like
guess
we forfeited before when it had to be Diego and Dahlia at a new breed competition. I was like, nope, they're not fighting each other. And you got Chino over here saying like, fight, let them fight. And I'm thinking like, no, because either one could win, and I know the other one's gonna get mad, and then the ride home is gonna be terrible, and the next week they're
oh
gonna be mad at each other. So
yeah,
let's
no,
not do that.
that makes sense.
But
But yeah,
anyways, go ahead.
oh
Sorry.
no, you're good. But no, it was just one of those things where I was like, well, like we'll see how she does, and if she doesn't, then Like
She did fantastic.
if she doesn't, it's fine. And then they fought, and I know that there was also some like controversy because of how young they were
Oh,
and
yeah.
like doing submissions,
Right. That was
which is
so
like
weird.
right. I mean, I
Even Chino
understand.
was like, "Hey, ref," like he yelled at the ref, right? And he
Yeah.
said, "You're telling me they can't do submissions, but the other match they were doing submissions." And cuz right? I
Yes.
remember.
And they were
Did
like,
they fight in gi and no gi?
mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And she beat him in both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's okay. He's like they're okay with it, I
I
think.
know.
And
And
like, I mean, you wouldn't be invited to like train with us if you if they weren't okay with it. So,
no, I know. And honestly though, like as I've told you, it's like so many other people that I know would not be like okay, but
hmm,
Coach Chino and like everybody has just kind of opened like their arms like
yeah.
with
Well,
to Layla, and it's so nice.
we love you guys. You guys are awesome. And she's amazing. I love watching her because she's very aggressive. And she's very technical. And I think actually I noticed that a lot of your kids from your academy, are all they're very, what's the word, sticky. Like they are all over you. Like
Oh yeah.
like the Dahlia's other little opponent from your school. I don't want to name names, but she's also in the same. She's competed against Diego and Dahlia, and she's like, like she's on them. So, and I think that's fantastic. But I don't know how else to describe how well they train, and how well your students, all the students are. They're just very, and they're very intense, but not in a bad
Yeah. I
way. You
think
know
they're
what I
just
mean?
very competitive.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing. I like the culture that your professor um has, like
Yeah.
the culture in the school. So I think that's really important. I I think we're very, very intense as well. And I think out of all the schools in our town, I think I think we're the best. But
I mean, I agree with that. But
but like the kids kind of pick up on that and so they're like, "Oh, okay, we want to do good too." So they're really trying to catch up with like all the other schools in the area that do compete all the time. And we're
yes.
probably one of the schools that competes constantly. So,
No, 100%. I
yeah.
think I love you guys at school. I love your
Yeah,
coach and
it's so cute. It's like because they want to do like a full MMA situation
so
because
cool.
I mean it's in their name, but
Yeah.
we just focus on jujitsu because it's a little bit easier to um I wouldn't say easier, but because jujitsu is not easy. But it's
I think
easy. I
it's
think
a
it's easier
bigger
to run,
market,
maybe? Oh, market too. Yeah, I think there's more.
like
It's gaining
community wise.
popularity too. So
Mm-hmm. Because for
yeah,
us, so as you know, I drive 1 hour one way to take Layla to practice.
yeah,
Not
that's commitment.
so it's like 2 hours every day. It's like a road trip, like anytime we go. But it took me it took me like 10 months to really decide on that.
Hmm.
We had tried
Other academies,
4
yeah,
local academies that were closer to us, but my daughter is just super competitive. And it was like trying to find the right fit of
right. There's
which,
also that.
yeah, like which gyms or which academies would have, kids her size,
Of course,
and kids at her level.
right?
And like, it's like so many different things that I didn't even know of because, when she started, we just kind of chose an academy and she ended up loving it and everything. But because we already had that like level of expectation almost when
Hmm.
we moved to a new state, it was like, okay, I know I can't replicate that,
Right.
but I want something similar
Of
for her.
course.
But shout out to one of the like last academies that we went to, and it was like we spent the summer there. It was great. She had kids. that would challenge her and all these things. And it was also an MMA gym, which was awesome because she ended up really liked striking.
Yeah.
Um, but
It's
then I talked,
fun.
yeah, I talked to the dojo and he was just kind of like, look, like your daughter's really good, but if she
Hmm.
stays here, she's gonna regress.
And that's looking out for your student, man. Like that's not like collecting money. You know what I mean? Like just collecting their payment every month of tuition.
That's
You know,
like
that's
respect, you
yeah,
know?
like high five to them.
Yeah, because I was just like, I feel like I'm not just another name on the roster that like
Mhm.
gives you money because some of the other gyms that we went to, that was definitely the feel. There
Mhm.
was definitely a lot of pressure into signing like long-term
Right.
contracts and like
Mhm.
all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I know all about that.
So, I mean, it was just really nice. And now we are at a place that challenges her. Like our professor is,
He's fantastic.
yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like, I
He's
just
fantastic. He's great.
let him do.
And he's super chill and he okay, like maybe not chill. That's not I don't know if that's the right word. Because
He's
when
chill off the
actually
mats.
yeah. When I've seen him, like the first time I saw him was at that Fuji tournament and he was screaming and yelling at the refs also. And I was like, oh hey, he's just like Chino. Like I was like, okay. Like one time Chino got disqualified, or no, he jumped on the mats and Dahlia got disqualified because Chino was yelling at the ref because he thought, he was like, what's going on here?
Injustice.
Yeah. So shout out to Coach Chino who got my kids back.
Yeah.
But I mean, your professor is very, he's a great instructor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Very intense,
yeah, I
but
think
in a good way.
he's fair too. I think like, the kids really respect him. And um, even when my kids have gone um, to practice or whatever with you guys, remember when Kenny pushed Dahlia? Oh my God, I
Oh
was so
my
embarrassed.
gosh! No, but that was so funny.
It was really funny. So my son had pushed his little sister and she ended up kind of tumbling. She didn't hurt herself. She can fall. She knows how to fall and roll. But I think she was really embarrassed because she fell in front of all the kids and she started crying. And your professor saw that and he said, "What's wrong?" And then she's like, "He pushed me," and he made my son do 100 push-ups in the middle of the mat. And I was like, "Yeah, get him." But I was so embarrassed because I was like, "What the hell are you doing, kid? You don't misbehave at another school." And then he later told me in the car, he was like, "Well, she was running too slow. So I was pushing her to go faster because I didn't want to be seen as slow to the other little boys, like sizing him
Oh.
up thinking he was a slow runner. And I was like, bro, like, whatever you do, don't hurt your sister. Like, I was so mad. And Chino, like, ripped him a new one when he got back on Monday. He was like, "You owe me 1,000 push-ups." Like, he was like, you
Oh.
gave their professor 100, you owe me 1,000. So cut off. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's kind of how we met. Chris's daughter competed against my coach's son, and she beat him. And we were like, okay. And then Mike saw your husband and they
Yes.
just were like chatting it up, right? Um,
And uh Mike told Mark that Dahlia had a Chick Jitsu super fight.
oh yeah, that's
Shout out
right.
to Chick Jitsu.
Yes,
Um,
we will promote Chick Jitsu all day long.
um, and so after that, it was kind of like he was like, "Oh, like they're gonna go do this thing. Like we should go because it's all girls."
Yeah,
Um, which is super unique,
it's
especially
so
like in
cute. Right,
jujitsu.
right.
Um, and then that's kind of how like we just
And they're so chatty, those two. Like, I know I was kind of like, oh, look how cute that little girl is, and her mom. And I think you had your cousin with you.
mm-hmm.
Okay. So you had another, and I was like, they're such a cute little family. I was like, and their daughter's really good, but I honestly, I don't think I would have said anything to you. I would have just been like, okay,
Ditto.
yeah,
Yeah, like hi, like
yeah,
I'll see
yeah.
you at like the next competition, but
Right, right. And I think Mark was wearing like his like Giants jersey. So
yeah.
I like I probably would have might have said something because Mike's a Giants fan, but like not really. Um
We
like
gotta get him up to speed.
he is, but he does okay, he doesn't watch sports. And he
What?
He doesn't. He likes UFC and he
Okay.
knows he knows like every stat, every fight, every fighter of the UFC from like 2007 till almost probably now. Um, but he doesn't know like football, which is insane to me. He doesn't know baseball, which is fine because I like baseball and I like going to baseball games, but I'm not a baseball fan. I mean, I am kind of. And basketball, we're just kind of like we watch it, but we're not like totally into it. But he's loves like UFC. Ugh. He loves the UFC. But anyway, so I remember seeing your husband and Mike was um like, "Oh, I think they're Filipino." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" And you know what? There was another little Asian girl about the
Oh.
same size as Layla, maybe a little bit bigger and definitely older, but they were wearing or was she I don't know what color gi she was wearing, but I think I thought they were the same little girl. Um, and
Oh.
she was on a different mat though, so I was like, that's not her. She looks bigger, but now obviously I can tell who Layla is, but at the time I was like, I don't know who. I think they had different names. And so I was like, I don't think they're Filipino, but then I saw you guys and I was like, oh, they're definitely Filipino. I saw your son
Yeah.
and I was like, he's definitely Filipino.
He has that rice body. All he
Yeah,
eats
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
rice.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Luca, at that same Fuji tournament, I felt so bad. So Layla, because Fuji allows you to like put them in X amount of brackets for all those different things, um, Layla, I think had like 12 or 13 fights that day just
Dang.
across her brackets. And then she had to fight somebody who was like pretty good. I think he was like a gray belt, uh, about almost 10 pounds heavier than her
Oh
and stuff
man.
in one of
Uh-huh.
the finals. So as soon she won, but as soon as she was done, uh, she walked off the mat and she was just so thirsty. So the first thing she saw was her brother with a water bottle. And it was like one of those like Yeti water bottles that
Oh,
is like
uh-huh.
heavier.
Yeah, it's
And she,
sturdy.
yeah, she just took it from him and drank. And he was mad.
Yeah.
He was so mad. So when she finally gave it back to him, Dahlia and Layla had the same hairstyle that day, like the
Okay.
two braids.
Yeah.
And I just remember out of nowhere, I think they were like watching the iPads, like Diego and Dahlia were like
Oh
watching
yeah.
the iPads on the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah, yeah.
And out of nowhere, all I see is Luca take this water bottle and smack it on the back of a little girl's head. And
Poor
sure
Dahlia.
enough, it was Dahlia and not Layla. I felt so bad. I was like,
I wonder if Dahlia was probably done though. She was probably done and just sitting and waiting. And she probably didn't even care, huh?
no, she did it. I was
No.
like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was like, are you okay? I was like, where's your parents? Like, and she just kind of looked at me and she's like, uh-huh. And just like went back to her iPad. And I remember looking at my cousin, I was like, Luca just beat up that little girl. And I swear, like, she
Oh
could like choke him out.
no. Oh no, that's so funny.
But
I think it had to have been definitely up to like Mike and Mark. They're like little two peas in a little pod with
yeah.
their and then we found out later. Oh, so then actually, what was it? We went to Chick Jitsu and we saw you guys.
hmm
And
And
I
then
was
we invited you
yeah.
guys to her birthday.
Oh yeah, that's right. So it kind of like and Mike was like, that's kind of weird, right? And I was like, no, let's go. I like him. Like there was just
Aww.
something and it's not that he thought it was weird. I think it was like, we barely know them. Are we gonna drive 2 hours away to go hang out at their house? And I
Well,
was,
I'm glad you did.
yeah, me too. Like Mike was like, we don't have anything better to do. Let's go. So that was really fun. And that's kind of just how it sparked off. Like we talked to you at Chick Jitsu. And then we saw you guys later at Layla's birthday, and then we saw you guys at the New Braid in Charleston. Was it Charleston?
Yes.
So it's like boom, boom, boom. Like we saw each other all the time in
Like back to
March.
back to back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we didn't see each other at all like in April.
Yep.
Um, I think
because I think
maybe.
Layla had nationals for
Oh,
cheer.
that's right. That's right. And then I think I don't know when, but I know I went to nature to take the kids to the seminar with Master Ricardo.
Yes.
So
That
like
was
we'd go back and forth and we were like this long, well, we're still like this long distance relationship going on.
fun. We definitely are.
And I think
Yeah.
it's so cute because all our family members love each other. Even like my son likes playing with Layla because she's older than Dahlia, but still like a little sister type.
Yeah.
And he loves Luca.
Oh my gosh. When they had their sleepover,
hmm
I almost felt like bad because I was like, you don't have to hang out with him. It's fine. And then I just see Kenny just like with his arm around Luca and they're just like
Oh,
watching TV.
because he doesn't have a little brother. I think that's why he loves little because he's probably annoyed with Dahlia.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Layla's annoyed with Luca quite a bit.
I
So,
mean, it's a sibling thing. Like they love each other, but they hate each other. But
yeah.
anyways, yeah. But that's how we met. That's how we got together and decided let's do things. It's really funny because Carissa, like she said, she's a marketing guru basically, and I started dabbling in like social media marketing, helping the gym grow their like following on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And so we kind of like collaborated a little bit. Like I would pick her brain a little bit, like, how do you do this? Or like whatever. And then also promote like my kids.
Hey,
Like
might
I
as
had
well.
started this little Instagram for them a long time ago, at back when we were at the other gym, and um I just like kind of record their fights or their anything fun, but I never really like got into it. And then I was like, well, I could promote my kids. They're doing really well, like at the new gym, so why not? And Mike's like, okay. And so he started, and I was like, like Carissa does all this for work. I should probably ask her stuff. And I kind of just like watched a little bit of like how you promote Layla's Instagram account, and I was like, I could do this. So I started
Yeah.
helping, like, and then I took over because my husband had no time, and I have all the time in the world to do these things. So I started doing that, and I was like, I can make my kids famous. So this is part of my goal of making
Yeah.
my kids famous.
I like it.
hmm
I could probably be better, but because I do some of this stuff for my 8 to 5, sometimes
Of
I'm just
course.
like,
Well, you're kind of like tired by then.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Like mentally exhausted. And then on top of you doing your day job, you have your kids, you have your spouse, your military spouse on top of that. So it adds your extra stress.
Yeah.
You drive an hour to take your daughter to practice and then an hour back. So I think it's warranted that you,
I feel like I could do
yeah.
so much more, and
No,
I'm just
I
like,
don't stretch yourself thin. And then I'm over here on top of that. Let's do a podcast.
no, but this is like
This is
awesome.
fun and relaxing, isn't it? Now you
Yeah,
see why
because
I
we
do
just like
it.
to like talk
Yeah, it's like
and like
chisme.
chisme.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
And oh, so professionally, I am a PHR. I'm a professional in human resources.
you're so
Um,
fancy.
I
You get
know. I
those
even
letters
I even
after
have the
your
fancy
name.
letters. Yeah. That's how I sign everything for like business wise. But I'm really not as professional as people probably think. Like if you knew me in real life, you'd be like, "Oh, she's different than her corporate
For
her
professional
her
life.
corporate self is different." Yeah, but so I do that. But I've been doing a whole bunch of other stuff just work wise. And then I figured since right now I'm a stay-at-home mom, like why don't I focus and put a little bit extra energy into this, see how it goes, and if it takes off, that's even more cooler than it is now. More cooler, more cool, more cool. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. And then see how that does. And if it doesn't, it was a fun project while it
Marketing.
lasted.
Yeah,
But
I
I
like
think it's gonna have, I think it's, I enjoy talking. This is like literally on my report cards, I would be like smart but talks too much. And I'm like, well, how do I turn that into a career?
Well, that's why Layla's your bestie
That's
because I
why.
swear. her like first week of school report. That's exactly what it said.
That's awesome. And it's so funny because my kid barely talks. My daughter barely talks. So for the longest time, she would meow at everyone. She would kind of be like meow or whatever. Uh, she'll even like put her hands up like a little cat. Meow. She's so silly. For the longest time, I'm not even. She still probably even does that to some people. Uh,
I like it.
but she doesn't. You know what's funny? She barely talks to Coach Chino and Veronica.
Really?
Yeah, she still won't talk. Like one day she was. This was just last week. One day she was coloring, and she had her back to like the mats, and Chino came behind her, and he was like, "Hello," and then she goes, "Hello," and then she looks at who it was, and she was like, and she stopped talking right away. She like shut up. And I was like, why are you? But it's crazy because she loves that guy. Like
Yeah.
she will listen to him. She's probably one of the very few kids that will listen to him in class. While all the other ones are like, woo, woo, woo. And you know, you can tell you see Dolly, she's like the only one. Even Kenny is like, "Meh, meh," but Dolly's focused in and locked in and watching and it's so funny.
Well, and Layla gets into like a completely different, like, just person. Like, you know how like
Ah, yeah, I've
Beyonce
noticed.
and
Oh
everybody
yeah.
else has like their alter ego?
Yeah, her Sasha Fierce.
Yes.
Oh, we should think of a name for Layla's.
We should, because I swear that girl, like,
She's
the
eh,
moment we step
yeah.
into the gym, the mats,
Yeah.
it's just different. Like
Yeah.
she is your typical cheerleader. Even her coaches and everybody who meets her, it's like she's that typical cheerleader. Like she has that
Mhm.
personality. She's
Mhm.
very outgoing,
Yeah,
very
bubbly. Mhm.
bubbly, very talkative. But as soon as she hits the mats, whether it's at practice, whether it's we're at a tournament, I don't know where my
Game
kid
face,
goes.
baby. Game face. I like it. I should just paint little like like what the football players are.
I like I love football.
Me too.
Go
And that was
Niners!
another thing. I was like, I went to their house and I see that her husband's wearing like a Niner jersey in one of their family photos. And I'm like, are they Niners fans? And then we find out all this stuff that like our family or you guys what grew up like in the same state, like where my mom owned a restaurant. Like
How
how crazy
crazy!
is that?
Ah.
And you guys are Niner fans and
Our
you got
dog colors match.
yeah, what is that? So I it definitely was fated. But why we started the podcast, I kind of touched on that too. Not just to promote my kids and your daughter, but um, just because this is fun and also this is I wouldn't say it's a new world for me, but like the competing world, it can get one really intense really fast. It can get confusing and it can get I wouldn't say clicky, but it can get I don't know, clicky is not the right word, but it can get very beefy with
It's drama filled.
yeah, and I don't necessarily think I mean, obviously, I think that's just how society is, like how we are in Western America. Just everything is filled with drama and that like and there, I don't want to say there's like a underbelly of the whole jujitsu community or whatever, but as a parent with kids who are competitive and um are super involved in the sport, I think they there's a lot of navigating to go through emotionally, mentally, financially, all of that.
Oh
It's crazy.
gosh.
So, yeah. So,
Yes.
I thought it'd be fun. If there's any other parents that listen and agree and relate, like that's one parent that we can, I don't know. I don't know if we can help them, but just let them know, like, hey, yo, it's not, it's hard. And, we can talk about it and you can listen.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
anybody who's like driving their kids to practices all the
exactly. For,
time.
for an hour. Does anyone else
Uh,
do that?
I mean,
We
I
do
don't
30
doubt it,
minutes. Yeah, we do 30 minutes.
but
So
that's still,
it's
I
a
mean,
little,
if,
it's a
and
little
you
bit
guys
of a
train every
trek.
day too, right?
Almost, yeah.
So that's still like
Yeah.
5, 6 hours a week.
Mhm.
That's still a lot just to stay in your car.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and then if they do like a private, like, because so they have Dolly has a super fight next weekend, so we'll
Is it
see how
next weekend already?
it's already next weekend, the 17th, which is crazy. It's gonna be near Myrtle Beach, I think, and she has a super fight, so we're excited to watch her. So she hasn't done nogi. It's really only been a year, so we'll see how that goes. Um, the other little girl only trains nogi, so I think her opponent has an advantage, but Dolly's just really good, so she'll be fine.
Yeah, she is.
She'll be fine.
And I don't know if other parents are like this. I tend to see a lot of parents very involved in the sport, but like I don't train. So I really put my trust in like the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So I am very uncomfortable going to a tournament without a coach or a professor there to
Mm-hmm.
be in Layla's corner.
Right.
And it's because one time she had to fight well, I guess multiple times, she had to fight her teammates at our current
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
gym, and the other kids' parents would coach them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say. Yeah, go Layla.
That's okay. Like,
Like go
I think,
and
to be
I don't
honest,
know what
I think
else.
while you're down there, okay, as a beginner, I've only competed once in jiu-jitsu. I don't even train anymore. Like, I literally have a quota of like once a month. I don't think I did any in August. But I've only competed once. And while you're down there, I will say, your very first one, I'm trying to listen to my coach. I don't know if anyone else does, but they're telling me try to get that shoulder pressure off your chest or whatever. I don't know. You try and go for like alleviate that because you're gonna die under there basically. And so, but because of the level of where your where Layla's at, who's been doing this probably once a month for God knows how long, um, I think she's experienced enough to be able to do it on her own. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Um, and there are some kids that are like, I just I just do whatever. Like my kids need someone kind of coaching them. I wouldn't say need, but it's good to
it's like a
have them.
security
It is.
system.
It is. So because you can see from the outside, whereas they can only see like what's in front of them, or feel or whatever. But if someone's like, watch out for the Kimura or whatever, keep your hands in, like you
Yeah,
tucking them in real fast. But and I think that's beneficial. And it's also strategy, I guess, because then the other one's gonna, your opponent's gonna bail on that Kimura or triangle or whatever they're trying to do. Um, I do think it's helpful to train. I haven't trained in I in a while and and consistently. Maybe there was only like a month or two, but
that's still more than me. I went to
yeah.
2 classes
It's
and it was good.
yeah.
I probably would have kept going, but it was just not working out with the amount of because it was on Saturday, which is
Yeah.
great for me, but it's like with the number of competitions that she was going to at the beginning of the year to
Oh
prepare
yeah.
for PANS, it
Mhm.
was like I'm missing like every other week, if not
Right.
more.
Right.
And then on top of that, she also had cheer
Right.
competitions, so it
Of
was just like,
course.
yeah, this is
And then
not gonna work.
imagine if you like did it if they had classes during the week that you could go to. That's just a long day. Like because they
Especially
would,
now that they're in school again.
exactly. So you need to get home. So I get it. Um yeah, we did used to go almost daily at the last gym. We like as a family, like we'd all train. Now it's really just my husband and my kids that train. I really haven't. I don't even know if my gi fits. I've gained so much weight, so we'll see. But yeah, oh, and I put a question here. What is going to happen on the show? What do you think's going to happen? I'm gonna pose that
Mm,
question to you, Carissa.
I think we're gonna do a lot of talking,
I know.
probably buy a lot of wigs. But I'm also just excited to like talk about just the community. I know when I first got in, like there's smooth comp and there's like X amount of like tournaments on there. But then
Right.
there's like IBJJF and there's AGF or I guess now that like Jiu-Jitsu World League and like all these
Yeah.
other
And now
things that
there's what's the
I
other one?
didn't know.
ADCC. Now they're
Yeah.
opening up for like kids and stuff. And that's a whole other ballgame because that's all no-gi, right? So
Yeah.
you're, and now my kids they want to do that too because they see the flow grappling
Mhm.
guys or girls and like, I want to do that. Well, I'm like, well, we gotta focus on our no-gi stuff then or whatever. So we'll
Yeah,
see
so
how it
I
goes.
think I'm excited to just kind of unravel some of that and talk about how that's going and like you said, kind of help navigate or not even navigate, but just let other people, other parents know that they're not alone in
Yeah.
this crazy.
Crazy. And then, hopefully get a Netflix show off of this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not
You
gonna
know,
lie. Like,
that'd be awesome.
like, yes, I'm doing this for fun, but like, if someone wants to, take care of us,
Yeah.
like,
Like
we're
cheer, but for like jujitsu. Like,
exactly,
Navarro
exactly.
cheerleaders.
What's going on?
Raw.
What's going on with my wig? Hold on. Like, my bangs are being insane. There you go. Okay. So, and I have to
Oh,
meet my bosses soon. So,
oh, so we gotta stop talking soon.
no, that's fine. Yeah. But yeah, I even put like Dance Moms does it. Why can't we?
Yeah,
So,
because we know there's drama here.
there's drama everywhere.
There's drama here.
Man, I wish I had a camera on me at the last place we were at. I'm not saying they were filled with drama. I'm saying there were families or parents that kind of like stirred the pot a lot and it made it really insane. So,
Yeah, it'd just be
um,
nice. Just have
I
a
try to stay away from it, but at the same time, I'm like, ooh, it's happening.
stay
And
away from it, but you want to be in the know, right? It's
yeah,
like,
that's the Filipino in me. That's the chismis that I
yes,
want.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Um, oh, and then I did say maybe I'll need more content for the show and start training myself. That's a goal. Maybe, maybe, but it's like I'm not saying it's not possible, but maybe not probable.
I would really love to train, and I know everybody's like, just do it. I'm just like, but the reality is,
It's hard. Like
I don't.
after training my brain, I don't even want to drive. And that's like hard, like intense training. If I just want to like play and learn something, I could drive, But like if your body's getting beat up and you're getting choked and you've depleted yourself of all hydration, I still got to drive 35 minutes in the middle, like at nighttime. The sun's going down sooner. Like it's gonna be dark and I have astigmatism. I can't see at night.
Man, can you imagine how our kids feel?
I thought about that. That's why when I first started like rolling, because it took me a long time to like actually roll. Um, I was like, man, these kids do this like because someone's smashing your face into the floor, and I'm like, man, these kids do this. Like, how is my kid the kid that is or the person smashing the face in the floor? Because
But yeah,
I want to be that one.
yeah,
Yeah,
as a parent, you're the one like
help. Yeah,
rooting for
yeah,
them or even the other kid,
yeah.
right?
And you're like, and then as a parent, if you're watching, you're like, get up. You just want to be like, get up. You can't get. I'm trying. So, I don't know. I think that's all I had for today. Introduce ourselves, introduce our kids, show off our cool wigs, and and that's it. So, do you have any last little thingies to
Just
address?
let us
Mm.
know what you guys are thinking.
Yeah. And that's it. So, two things I did want to say before I left, or so we're in the middle of trying to get a super fight for Layla, right?
Yes.
So Layla is fantastic. She's a yellow belt.
Yes.
She's 8 years old. Can I say her age?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, I already said.
You're right.
And she's in the lightweight class, like
I don't
50s.
even know.
She's in,
Yeah,
yeah, 50
early
pounds.
50s.
So if you want to maybe super fight, I don't know. This will post, and I will air this show and debut it before Chick Jitsu. So
Jitsu.
maybe we can also do
Find some.
that on the show. But shout out to Chick Jitsu who is hosting this awesome event. I really
Dude, they win a
fell in love
crown.
with them. Yeah, they're so cool. Um, they're doing that. We need more girls to sign up. Yes, I have a son. But we need more girls on the mats. As a female myself, maybe I should train and do jiu-jitsu, and I thought I was going to, but I was like, reality hit me. I was like, no, I can't.
We'll
But
support from the sidelines.
yeah, for sure.
We'll be their
So
cheerleaders.
that was my one takeaway. But I do want to promote jiu-jitsu on this. Both our daughters actually are jiu-jitsu ambassadors. I forgot to mention that.
Sure. Save
So
20%.
yeah, save 20% with our codes. Let's plug them in. No, pick one. Pick one. No. So I think Layla's is cheer
Cheer
20.
20.
Yeah. And then Dahlia's is Fonti, Fonti 20. So if you sign up or register for the tournament, you would get 20% off the registration fee. And then if they also have merch. So, and we don't get paid for this or anything. I just want to promote them because I think they're amazing. But 20% off their merch store. I think it's Etsy. I'm not really sure, but they have stickers. They have rash guards. They're so cute. Um,
If that
but yeah.
headband that Layla's obsessed with right now.
Oh, okay. So I thought it was a mask.
Oh no. Well, I think they have masks too, but
Oh, okay.
she just is like obsessed with it. Like she's been wearing it to school. Like
How cute.
and I
That's
was like,
adorable.
okay. Like
That's
yeah.
adorable. But anywho, so that's that. Stay tuned for some interesting chats that we will probably have. They'll probably be worse. We'll need to hone it in a little bit. And oh, I'm so dumb. This is what I put. Stay tuned for some interesting chats about this weird lifestyle that we live. Then I put, I hope this doesn't sound like we're swingers, lol.
I laughed so hard at that when I saw it. I was like,
It's just when you know, like jujitsu people know. They know what we
yes.
mean. And then if you want to get in touch with us, you can email us. I have a fighting dot Fonties email, so it's fightin like fighting but without the G, so FIGHTIN dot FONTIS at gmail.com, or you can DM me at the same Instagram. Oh no, actually my Instagram handle is fightin.fonties.bjj. And you can follow my kids. Yeah. And then Chris's daughter is also on Instagram. She's under Cheer Jitsu Girl, so it's just how you spell it. Cheer, CheerJitsu Girl, GIRL. So give us a follow. We'd appreciate it.
We'll
Give
follow
us
you
some
guys.
feedback because tell us how we did or tell us how we could improve because I'm sure there's a lot of improvements we need. And hopefully you listen to our next one.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for listening, and we will talk to you later.